Okay. There's a couple more peeps. Rich, you made it back. Good, good. And then Ava, lovely. Glad to see you guys. I'm gonna pin myself to the middle screen and let's do the yogas. Okie dokie. Let's start in a comfortable seated position. So if you know that sitting is uncomfortable for you, grab a pillow, grab a couple blankets. This is a proper yoga blanket if you've seen such a thing. It's just a blanket from Mexico, but these are like yoga blankets. I don't know why. So if you want to sit on top of a blanket, it might feel nice as well. This is called easy pose, one ankle in front of the other. So sit in easy pose if that's available to you. If it's not, you can sit in whatever way feels most comfortable. And then just relax your arms, either down by your sides, hands can rest in your lap. You might bring one hand to your heart space, one hand to your belly. You might bring your hands to your heart center, so whatever feels best, most resonant for you today. And then close your eyes. And let's just begin by taking 3 really big, deep breaths. So next time you inhale, fill up as big as you possibly can. Hold at the top. When you think you are full, sip in a little bit more. And then big open mouth sigh, release. Ah. Do that again. Inhale, fill up. Hold in fullness. Sip in a little bit more. And big sigh, let it go out your mouth. Ah. One more time, just like that. So inhale, fill up. Take a moment to pause at the top. And when you're ready, open mouth, sigh, release. Ah. Seal your lips now and start to cultivate your ujjayi breath. So in and out through your nose by way of the back of your throat. So see if you can start to not only feel your breath, but also hear your breath as it moves through. So the inhale is like you're taking a really deep, slow motion gasp. The exhale is like you're fogging up a window and your lips are just sealed on top of the breath. So see if you can start to make that oceanic sound as you breathe in and breathe out. Use the feeling of your breath, the sound of your breath to keep you here in this present moment. So if you focus on your breath as it is happening, everything else just kind of falls away. So be with that for a moment. This is like a seated meditation. Feel the rise and fall, the expansion and contraction. And then keep your breath going just like this and start to add some arms. So as you inhale, palms face the sky, reach out to both sides and all the way up as high as you can. Pinky fingers turn in to face one another. As you exhale, reach out to both sides, palms face down, and then bring your arms to rest down by your sides. Back and forth just like that. Inhale, reach out and up. And exhale, reach out and down. As you reach up, your palms face up. As you reach down or bring your arms down, your palms face down. Make your wingspan as big as possible, as wide as possible. Feel into the mobility of your shoulders and your spine, your entire torso. So if possible, you're keeping your torso nice and long, your spine nice and long. As you reach up and then let your arms return back down. So do that a couple more times. This should be connected to your breath. Inhale to reach up, exhale to bring your arms back down. So it's like a moving meditation. Next time you inhale, reach up and pause there. Exhale, bring just your right hand to the ground by your side. Walk your right hand over to the right. Maybe bend your elbow, let your forearm get a little closer to the earth, and then reach and stretch through your left side. So keep both sit bones rooted down. And if you want, you can explore a little bit of movement with your left arm. So you might reach your arm up and back, turn your heart up a little bit. You might reach your arm slightly forward and then round your spine a little bit. Or maybe you keep your upper body exactly the same, but you just circle your arm through space a few times. So whatever calls to you, a couple more breaths right here. Next time you breathe in, come back to center, reach both arms up, and exhale other side. So left hand comes down, walk your left hand over to the left a bit. You might bend your left elbow so your forearm gets closer to the earth, and then stretch your right side. So keep both sit bones rooted. Breathe into your right side body, your rib cage, your waistline. If you want, you can explore a little bit of movement through your upper body or maybe just through your right arm. Reconnect to your breath. So check in. Is it still there? Is it still big and spacious? Take a couple more rounds. And then next time you breathe in, back to center, both arms to the sky, reach up. Exhale, hands to the ground in front of you, transition onto your hands and your knees. So find a tabletop position. From your tabletop, start to either move through cat-cows, so inhale to arch, exhale to round, or you can start to maybe circle your hips. So make this as intuitive, as creative as you would like. Feel into your spine, into your shoulders, into your hips, even into your hands, your fingers, your wrists, your forearms. So if you want, you can spin your fingers out to both sides, or you can spin your fingers back to face towards your knees, and just find a little rock forward and back, side to side, or even around in little circles. Slow, steady breaths. Back to neutral spine position, tabletop. And from here, spinal balance. So let's take our right arm forward, left leg back. Think of a strong, straight, powerful line. Great big inhale. Exhale, let it go. Lower down. Other side. Left arm forward, right leg back. Strong, straight line. Feel into your center. So feel your belly button pull in and up. Really push down through your right hand. So your right arm should feel strong. One more inhale, reach. Exhale, release. Breath to movement. Inhale, right arm forward, left leg back. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, left arm forward, right leg back. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, right arm, left leg. This time, listen, elbow to knee, round your spine, hollow out your belly. Inhale, re-extend, get long. Exhale, lower down, tabletop. Inhale your left arm forward, your right leg back, spinal balance. Exhale, elbow to knee, round, hollow out, empty out. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release. All right, take your left leg and extend it straight out to the left with your toes facing forward. Your heel should come straight out from your hip. Right arm out to the right, and then if you can, reach your right arm all the way up, inhale. Exhale, thread your right arm through. So reach, 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 and come down to rest on the outside of your shoulder, outside of your head. Big, deep breaths. And you can take a different variation if you want. So if there's any exploration that you would like to take, feel free. And then if you do happen to have your left hand lifted, Slowly return your left hand back to the ground. Next time you breathe in, unthread your right arm and reach it all the way up to the sky. Open up. Exhale, set your right hand down. Pick up your left foot and swing your left leg all the way over so your left toes come off the right side of your yoga mat. And then pull your hips over to the left as you gaze back over your right shoulder. So you might even bend one or both elbows. You might round a little. You might arch a little. You might rock forward or back a little. Take one more breath. Back to hands and knees, tabletop. And then back to downward facing dog. So for a moment, giving yourself a nice stretch. Really long through your spine. So press the ground away as you lift your butt as high as you can. You might bend your knees a lot. You might pedal out your heels. So feel into your dog pose. Breathe into your dog pose. Take about 2 more deep breaths. Relax your neck, soften your face. And end of your next exhale, my friends, just set your knees back down, back to a tabletop position. Take your right leg out to the right, all 5 toes. I always say all 10 toes, but you only have 5 toes on each foot. So all 5 toes face forward, and then left arm out to the left. Reach it all the way up, breathe in, and exhale, thread it through. So reach, 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 come down to rest gently outside of your shoulder, outside of your head, and then big, spacious breaths. You can take it wherever you want on this side. Soft face. All the way to empty with every exhalation. Okie doke, if you do have your right hand lifted, set your right hand back on the ground. Next time you inhale, unthread your left arm and reach it up one more time, open up. Exhale, set your left hand down. Pick up your right foot and swing your right tiptoes off the left side of your yoga mat. Set them on the ground. Pull your hips to your right as you gaze back over your left shoulder. Gaze back at your tiptoes. Little bit of explorative movement. Find your own sweet spot and breathe. One last big breath. Come back to center, tabletop, downward facing dog. This time, just a couple rounds of breath in your down dog. So lengthen, create lots of space, feel into it, breathe into it. One more inhale. Exhale, look forward, step, tiptoe, or hop, top of your yoga mat, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift position. So really stick your butt out, reach the top of your head forward. Exhale, fold it in. Do that again, halfway lift, lengthen. Inhale, exhale, fold. Let your arms and your head hang very heavy and roll up to stand as slow as you can. Super, super slow. When you get to the top, your head stacks, your shoulders might roll up, back, and down. And then keep going with these spinal roll-ups and spinal roll-downs. So chin to chest, shoulders forward, and then start to roll down. Really moving one vertebra at a time. Continue at your own pace. Roll it up, roll it down. Slow, deep breath. And imagine you've got an invisible wall right behind you. And you're trying not to touch your butt to that wall as you roll up and down. So no rush whatsoever. Your feet ought to be about hips width distance apart, or maybe just a little bit wider. All 10 toes face forward. Next time you're standing at the top of your mat, just be there. So arms by your sides, palms open. Stand tall, stand well. And you don't need to rush, so take your time. Eventually just meet up in what's called mountain pose, arms by your sides. Stand strong, embody a mountain. So close your eyes and from the inside, feel your feet rooting down, draw up through the crown of your head. Neutral pelvis, neutral spine, can you feel that? Soft through your face, big deep breaths. Next time you breathe in, fill up and hold. Exhale, big sigh. Ujjayi, inhale, stretch your arms up. Swan dive with your exhale, all the way down. Heart leads, then let it go. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, bow and fold. Root through your feet, lead with your heart. Rise up, arms to the sky, breathe in. Hands to your heart, exhale. One more round like that. Inhale, high mountain. Exhale takes you down slowly, no hurry. With your inhalation, lift halfway, find lots of length. And exhale, let it go. Release, bow deeply. Press into your feet, lead with your heart. Take it all the way up. Inhale, arms up, gaze up. Hands to heart, exhale. All right, my friends, inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, hands behind your back, interlace your fingers. Roll your shoulders back and down. Hug your shoulder blades towards your spine. If you can, start to reach your hands back away from your body. Maybe add a tiny little back bend. So lift your heart, reach your knuckles down, hug in with your inner thighs, and press your hips gently forward. Take one more in-breath. Keep your clasp and exhale, swan dive down. So heart leads, relax your neck at the bottom. Let your head be heavy. It might feel better if you bend your knees a lot or take your feet out a little bit wider. See if you can lift your knuckles up. See if you can lift your butt up. Now where's your breath? Is it still there? Make it spacious. Take one last round. End of your exhale, hands to your low back, release your clasp. Halfway lift on an inhale, realign your spine. Exhale, plant your hands, step your feet back, plank position. Inhale at the top of your push-up. Exhale, slowly lower down, strong arms, strong belly. Let's find Spider-Man Cobra. So hands should be wider than your yoga mat. Up on your fingertips, elbows face the sky. Lift your heart, breathe in. Exhale, take a little twist to your right. Dip your left shoulder down a bit. Inhale, come back through center. Heart lifts, belly tones. Press down through your pelvis. Other side, twist to your left. Inhale, back to center. Should feel nice. Exhale, let it go. Relax back down. Bring your hands to frame your mid-ribs. Press up to tabletop. And then from your tabletop, tuck your toes under, knees about hips width distance apart, sit back onto your heels. So screaming toe pose. If this feels way too intense for your toes or for the soles of your feet, then you can keep your hands on the ground in front of you, put a little bit of weight there. Otherwise, sit your hips back onto your heels, hug in with your heels. Hands to your heart, breathe, or you can bring your hands behind you, so arms out to the sides, make fists, press your fists together. If it's available to you, reverse prayer, reverse namaste. Just an option, you don't need to force it. Maybe just focusing on screaming toe pose is enough. Don't worry about the arms, it's up to you. Take about 3 more breaths. This is so good for our plantar fascia, for the soles of our feet, the soft tissue. Breathe into the heat that you feel there. Soften around it. One last breath, big and spacious. End of your exhale, come forward to hands and knees. Untuck your toes. Gently tap them against the ground. Little pitter-patter tap. Pitter-patter tap. Downward facing dog as you're ready. Feel all that new awareness in your feet. They feel so alive, right? Take your right leg to the sky, 3-legged dog. Breathe in and lengthen a lot. Exhale, step your right foot forward, low lunge. Now, we're gonna twist. So left hand stays on the ground. If you have a block you wanna use under your left hand, feel free, right arm to the sky. Strong through your legs, especially your back leg. Imagine you wanna pull your front hip back, but at the same time, your front knee is hugging towards your left armpit. Breathe down into your belly and work your twist with your exhale. Take one more round. End of your exhale, unwind. Walk your hands over to the left long edge of your mat. Parallel your feet, straighten out your legs. Halfway lift, breathe in. So stick your butt out, reach your head forward, and exhale, fold. So crown towards the ground, butt towards the sky. There's lots of variations. You can go wherever you'd like. You might grab your ankles, you might grab the outer edges of your feet. I'm doing kind of a down dog variation with really, really wide legs. So I'm reaching forward, pushing into the ground, pressing my hips back and lifting them up. Make sure wherever you've chosen to go, your breath is right there with you, slow and steady. Take about 2 more rounds. Next time you inhale, come back to a halfway lift position, fingertips on the ground again. And then just walk your hands to the top of your mat. Rotate your toes to face forward. This is funky. We're gonna come into a box pigeon. So start to walk your right foot over to the left side of your mat, and you can just kind of let your hips sit down. So your back knee might come down and then your hips just sit down to the side. So you're on your right butt cheek now, right? Right shin parallel to the front edge of your mat. So right shin parallel front edge of your back. Left knee can be really bent like this, or you can start to extend your left leg back a little bit more. Square your shoulders forward, so facing towards the front of your mat. Sit up really tall. See if you can sit up tall just like this. Lift your hands, maybe even take them up. Big inhale. As you exhale, slowly fold forward. And if you want, you can explore moving your upper body a little over to the right, a little over to the left. So this is like a collapsed pigeon pose pretty much. I don't love that name for it, but I don't know what else to call it. So we're letting ourselves sit onto our right butt cheek. Keeping our right shin parallel to the front edge. And just working around, feeling into the mobility of our right hip. Take about 3 to 5 more breaths. Open mouth exhales at any time. End of your next exhalation, lift your upper body. And then if this is too much, you can skip this part. So maybe you just hang out here a little bit longer. But what we're going to do, we're going to take our back leg, sit up really tall, try not to use your hands. Take your back leg and swing it around like you're going into a double pigeon pose. So your shins stack one on top of the other. And then take it back around. So back and forth a few times. Try not to use your hands. If you need to use your hands to help, that's fine. Try to keep your torso lifted as much as possible, working that mobility in your left hip. Maybe you just bring your left leg to extend forward and then take it back. That's a good modification. So a couple more. All right, and then next time, bring your left leg forward, extend both legs forward. So take both legs out in front of you, give them a little shake out. Feet to the ground with your knees bent, bring your feet out to the width of your mat, hands behind you. You can lean back, Roll your shoulders back and down, lift your heart, breathe in here. Exhale, knees over to the right. Perhaps gaze left. Inhale through center. Other side, knees left, perhaps gaze right. Go back and forth a couple more times. Move with your own breath. Feel into your hips. All right. Come back to center. From here, right leg extends. Sole of your left foot to your right inner thigh like you're in a tree pose sitting on the ground. If you want, if it's hard for you to sit up here, sit up on top of something, a blanket. It'll give you a little head start, maybe a pillow. So sole of your left foot to your right inner thigh. Right leg is extended. Your right toe should face straight up towards the ceiling. Square your hips towards your extended leg as much as you can. Inhale, reach your arms up. And then as you exhale, dive forward, let your heart lead. So heart reaches forward, butt reaches back, then let it go. Fold. Forehead towards your shin, nose towards your knee, navel towards your spine at the end of each exhale. Try to keep your right toes flexed and keep pressing down through the back of your right heel. Every exhalation, that's your invitation to dive just a little bit deeper, to fold just a little bit further from the inside out. Take about 2 more. End of your next exhale, either roll up or reverse swan dive up. I'll leave it up to you. Once you are stacked back, so you're sitting up tall once again, turn over your left shoulder and bring your left hand down behind you. Fingers face away from your body. Press into your left hand, press down through your right heel, lift your hips, reach your right arm back. So coming into modified side plank or more of a modified wild thing. You can open your heart, lots of space, one more huge breath. End of your exhalation, bring your butt back down. Take your legs out in front of you for a moment. Give them that nice little shake out. Shake, 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 shake. And then we're gonna take it back to down dog. So you can get there your own way, or here's an option. Boat pose, balancing on your sit bones, lift your heart, hug in with your inner thighs. Maybe you hold here for a couple of breaths or so. When you are ready, cross your ankles, rock forward, plant your hands, step back, or if a jump back is in your practice, you're welcome to take it. Move through a vinyasa if you want to. Meet back in downward facing dog. Big, spacious breaths, Ujjayi. Inhale, left leg to the sky. And as you exhale, left foot steps forward as soft as possible, low lunge. Revolve lunge, so right hand on the ground or a block, left arm up, twist. Strong legs, especially your back leg. Try to pull your left hip back, but at the same time, left knee hugs towards your right armpit. Twist from your center. So breathe down into your belly and work your twist from the inside. Take about 2 more. Very nice. End of your second exhale. Unwind. Walk your hands over to the right long edge of your mat. Parallel your feet. Straighten your legs. Halfway lift. Breathe in. Anywhere you want to go as you breathe out. So fold in and work your pose in whatever way you'd like. So you can do exactly what you did on the other side, or you can try something completely different. Up to you. Wherever you choose to be, your breath is right there with you. Last couple of rounds. Next time you inhale, halfway lift, fingertips on the ground. And then crawl your hands forward, rotate your toes to face forward, so you're coming back into a low lunge, and then you'll make that funky transition into our box pigeon or our collapsed pigeon. So maybe you want to bring your back knee down first, kind of walk your left foot over to the right long edge, and then just sit your butt down, nice and easy. So you're on the outside of your left butt cheek. Scoot your hips around so that your front shin, your left shin, is parallel to the front edge of your mat. And then your right knee can be bent a lot, or you can take it back a little bit more, whatever feels kind of like your own edge. Sit up tall and square your shoulders towards the front of your mat. Flex your left toes back. So it's like you're standing up against an invisible wall with your left foot. One more big inhale. And then exhale, heart leads. Reach your heart forward and bow. If you want to explore moving side to side with your torso a bit, feel free. Big deep breaths. Soft through your face. Forehead, eyebrows, jaw. Open mouth size at any time. So please do not forget those big spacious breaths. They make a world of difference. Use your exhales to soften. Okay, my friends, end of your next exhalation. So take it all the way to empty and then slowly start to lift back up. If you want to hang out here, you can. Otherwise, we're going to play with our right leg. The mobility there, swinging it around. And you saw how I have my left hand on the ground. So if that's helpful, you can use it. If you can, keep your hands lifted. Just using straight up mobility through your hip, do so. Few times. Remember, you can just extend your right leg forward if that's easier. Maybe take one more. Oh yeah, lots of mobility. Good job. And then everybody take both legs out in front of you. Give them that little shake out. Shake, shake, shake. Windshield wiper. Feet nice and wide. Lift your heart back and forth with your breath. Try not to rush these. The slower you go, the more you will notice, the more you will feel. Okie doke. Let's move into, it's called Jani Shirshasana, that tree pose on the ground or in a seat, I should say. So sole of your right foot to your left inner thigh. If you want to sit up on top of something, give yourself a little bit of a head start. I highly recommend it. So right foot, sole of your foot to your left inner thigh. Square your shoulders, square your upper body towards your extended leg. Sit up tall, flex your left toes back. Arms to the sky, inhale. Lead with your heart. Exhale, so butt back, heart forward, reach, reach, reach. Then relax into your fold. Keep pressing your right foot into your leg back into your foot. And then at the end of each exhale, navel to spine, dive a little deeper, fold a little further. We'll be here for about 4 more breaths. Good job, you guys. End of your next exhalation, you choose either roll up or reverse swan dive up. Once you are stacked back up, so you're sitting up tall, turn over your right shoulder, bring your right hand down behind you, fingers face away from your body. Press into your right hand and lift your hips. Hello, Miss Ruby. So left arm now reaches back, left side long. You might even turn your heart to look up, modified wild thing. Huge deep breath, create space inside. End of your exhale, come back down. Take your legs out in front of you, give them a nice little shake out. If you have something you were sitting on, go ahead and set it off to the side. We're gonna take reverse tabletop. So, feet on the ground with your knees bent, feet about hips width distance apart. Your heels should come pretty much straight down from your knees. Hands behind you, fingers face in towards your hips. Roll your shoulders back and down, lift your heart up. Keep pressing through your thumbs and index. This might be where you stay, otherwise, pressing to your hands and your feet, lift your hips. Keep your shoulders back and down, heart open. Press into your heels and the inner edges of your feet, hug in with your inner thighs. Press down into your thumbs and index. One more inhale, lift. Exhale, let it go. Go ahead and lower all the way down onto your back. Once you're there, just a little rock side to side as you hug your knees towards your belly gently. Okay, set your feet on the ground with your knees bent. Extend your left leg out long, so take your left leg forward. And then draw your right knee up towards your right armpit. Grab hold in front of your right shin. So squeeze your right knee up towards your right armpit. Take a big Buddha belly breath. And then from here, start to extend your right leg either straight up. You can grab behind your thigh, or if it's available to you, maybe peace fingers around big toe. And you can extend your right leg up or out to the right side. So working with hand to big toe pose, opening to the side or extending straight up. Maybe you still have a really big bend in your knee, but you're holding onto your big toe, pressing through your heel, that's fine. Keep a neutral spine wherever you're at. Back of your left shoulder and back of your left hip should stay rooted down. Take one more round wherever you're working. And then let it go. Move into a supine twist. So bend your right knee, reach your right arm out to the right and kind of scoot your hips to the right. Roll onto your left side body. Shoulders should be open, square towards the sky. Breathe down into your belly. Big, deep breaths as you settle here. If you want to bring your left hand to the outside of your right thigh, just apply a little bit of gentle pressure, go for it. Soft face, soft forehead. Take one more big breath. And then roll back to center and adjust your hips so they're straight down from your shoulders, but keep your left leg extended. Tree pose, lying down on the ground. So sole of your right foot to your left inner thigh, and just let your right knee open out to the right. So it's like you're in a tree pose, but you're just laying down. Just rest here for a moment. Try not to hold your right leg up at all, but let it relax. If and only if you want, you can bring the sole of your left foot up to meet the sole of your right foot, so you're in reclined cobbler's pose. Feet together, knees apart. Take about 3 more breaths, just relaxing. And then from wherever you're at, full body stretch. So take both legs long, both arms overhead. Great big inhale, reach, reach, reach. Exhale, draw your knees in, gentle rock from side to side. And then set your feet down on the ground, knees bent. Extend your right leg long. Draw your left knee up towards your left armpit, hands around the front of your left shin. So squeeze your left knee in and up. Take a couple big breaths. Imagine there's a heavy sandbag on top of your right thigh. And then working your way into your variation of hand to big toe pose. So maybe your left leg extends up and your hands are behind your left thigh. That's perfect. If you want to, peace fingers to your left big toe, and you can extend your left leg up. You can extend your left leg out to the left. Maybe it's not all the way straight. Keep your spine in a neutral position. Keep the back of your head down. Keep your shoulders as much as you are able to plugged in. Take about 2 more breaths wherever you're at, exploring your pose in your way. And then we'll move into our supine twist. So bend your left knee and you can kind of adjust as needed to get into your twist. So left arm out to the left, hips scoot over to the left just a little bit, and then roll onto your right side. Your right hand might come onto the outside of your left knee or thigh and just gently press. Gaze up or over your left shoulder. Big, spacious breaths down into your belly. Take about 3 more. End of your next exhale, roll slowly back onto your spine, adjust as needed so that your hips come straight down from your shoulders, they're in line. Your right leg will stay extended, sole of your left foot to your right inner thigh. Let your knee open. Again, like you're in tree pose against the ground, lying down. I'll take a couple breaths in your supine tree pose. And then if you do want to turn it into a supine cobbler's pose, feet together, knees apart, you're more than welcome to do so. Big, deep breaths, relax as much as possible. So rather than trying to hold any part of your body up right now, just let go, just relax. Take about 2 more rounds. Let's come back to a full body stretch 1 more time. So both legs long, both arms overhead. Actively reach. If your ribs lift a lot, see if you can press down through the backs of your ribs, even just a little bit. Take 1 more inhale, reach. Exhale, feet to the ground with your knees bent, arms down by your sides. Set up for bridge. So heels straight down from your knees, toes face forward. Your feet should be about hips width distance apart. Arms by your sides. Exhale, pull your belly button down and scoop just your tailbone up. So see if you can feel what's called a posterior pelvic tilt. You're curling your tailbone, you're tucking it under. And then As you inhale, let your tailbone press down and your low back lift up. So it's like you're sticking your butt out towards the ground below you. Low back lifts. This is an anterior pelvic tilt. Go back and forth through those two. So exhale, belly button draws down, tailbone scoops up. And inhale, tailbone presses down as your low back lifts. Couple more times back and forth. It's not a big movement, but it is a very clear distinction between these two different pelvic tilts. So start to really feel into the difference. When we stand, when we're standing on our feet, we want a nice neutral pelvis. So start to notice, what is your pelvis doing every single day when you stand? All right, next time you exhale, navel draws down, tailbone scoops up, and then inhale, peel your spine off your mat, coming into your full bridge. Once you're in your bridge pose, you can either hold where you're at, or maybe there's some sort of variation you want to work with. So you might kind of shimmy your shoulders underneath you, maybe interlace your fingers underneath you. Take about 3 to 5 rounds of breath in your bridge pose. If you want to take a restorative bridge pose and you've got a block or something at home you can put under your sacrum, please feel free. If you're holding regular bridge, make sure you're rooting through your heels and the inner edges of your feet. Hug in with your inner thighs and imagine you want to reach your knees forward, your shins forward. Keep your chin lifted up away from your chest, press down through the back of your head. Feel the strength in your back body and send your breath into it. If your shoulders are underneath you, stay in your bridge pose, but just start to slowly work them out from under you. Everybody extend your arms straight up towards the ceiling. You're still in bridge. One more inhale, lift your hips, hug in with your inner thighs. Exhale, super, super slowly roll down one vertebra at a time. Once you're back to the ground, you're back to neutral. Tee out your arms or cactus your arms against the ground. Bring your feet out wider, so mat width distance apart, windshield wiper side to side. And you can take your feet a little further away from your upper body if that feels better. Just slowly back and forth. This is like one of the most therapeutic movements you can do for your hips and your low spine. So rather than just speeding through it, going through the motions mindlessly, really feel it. Really use it. Take advantage of it. Let's take one more each direction. And then come back to center, and choice is yours. Either rest with your feet together, knees apart, or with your feet apart, knees together. Bring one hand to your heart space and one hand to your belly. We're going to do about a 3-minute breathwork exercise. We will take 2 sips in and then exhale 1 sip out. So we'll be in, out. I like to think belly, heart, exhale. I'll show you what it looks like and then I'll cue you in to join me. It looks like this. You can do it through your nose or your mouth. Remember, belly, heart, let it go. Belly, heart, let it go. We're not pausing in between the breath. We're keeping it going continuously. So start by just exhaling all the way out, and we will begin. Ha, ha, ha. Sit, sit, rinse. Sit, sit, rinse. In, out. Belly, heart, out. Belly, heart, out. If your mouth gets dry, then close your mouth, work through your nose. Or maybe you just lick your lips. We're about halfway there. Try to stick with it. Ha, ha, ha. Ten more. 10, 9, 8, 3, 2, 1. Big inhale, hold at the top, hold for as long as you can. Hold, keep holding, keep holding. Hold for as long as you possibly can. Keep holding, keep holding. Big sigh, let it go. Come back to your natural breath now, so let go of any control of your breath. And just feel the energy moving through your body. Rise and fall. If there are any last little movements, last little poses that you want to take to finish off your own practice, please feel free. So maybe there's a happy baby, maybe there's another full body stretch, maybe you just want to roll out your wrists, roll out your ankles. And then just slowly start your transition into your final relaxation. So hopefully after that breath exercise, it might be a little bit easier to feel your body, to feel the energy inside your body. For these last few moments, just let that be your practice. So not doing anything, but just simply being. Feeling your body as this wide open space for energy to flow through. So energy comes in so many forms. Maybe it's in the form of breath, rising and falling. Maybe it's in the form of sensation, emotion. Maybe it's just thoughts coming and going. Try not to get lost in them or spin off with them, but just notice them coming and going. Feel into the aliveness of you, even as you relax around it. So my invitation for you is to stay here as long as you'd like. You have about 5 or 6 minutes to the hour, so if you want to take those 5 or 6 minutes for yourself, just to rest, just to observe, I highly encourage it. You can close your practice in a way that resonates for you when you're done. Thank you guys so much for showing up, for letting me guide you today. And I hope you take something with you off your mat and into the world. Have a wonderful rest of your day, my friends. Namaste.